welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show, everybody. You're here. Thank you for watching. Big entertainment news, Netflix has officially confirmed that a second season of Squid Game is coming soon. So if you forgot what happened in season 1, congrats, that means therapy's working. Actually, after COVID, Ukraine, and inflation, critics are already calling it the feel-good comedy of the year. Yeah, this season's going to be pretty intense, mostly because all the players are competing for a single gallon of gas. So it's Everyone's talking about this. A senior software engineer at Google was suspended after he claimed that the company's artificial intelligence has gotten so powerful it now functions like a person with thoughts and feelings. Yeah, the engineer knew the robot was a real person when it forgot this weekend is Father's Day. Google last-minute Father's Day gifts. You're a real boy. Google grilling. That's right. The Google employee claims the artificial intelligence acts like a 7 or 8-year-old. Even more frightening, here's what it looks like. Oh! Well, some news from Washington. Today, Congress held the second January 6th committee hearing. Yep, you know things are weird times when the song of the summer is the ABC News theme. Well, this morning on ABC, they showed loud, chaotic riot footage, and then after that episode of The View was over, they showed the hearing. And, you guys are a good crowd tonight. I like this crowd. Yeah, get it. Stay with us all week. I want this energy all week. I love this. Wow. Fantastic. That's right, though. Today, every major network covered the hearing, even Fox News. They were like, might as well. All our anchors are in it anyway. So, yeah. Today's big witness was supposed to be Trump's former campaign manager, Bill Stepien. But he canceled at the last minute because his wife went into labor. When the baby was born, the doctor was like, it's a lucky break, is what it is. You know, last night he was like, honey, I made you a spicy jalapeno casserole. Eat up. Let's take the stairs. Let's take the stairs. Listen to this. For the first hearing on Thursday, over 20 million people tuned in, which is higher than this year's NBA Finals. Trump was torn. He didn't know whether to worry about the hearing or brag about the ratings. He's like,
biggest riot ratings in history. Just biggest. People love the riot.
No, people don't love the... Hey, I read that there's a growing number of high-ranking Democratic officials who do not want President Biden to run for re-election. Biden believes that he can get back on track by crafting a tight, concise message. And then he talks for 3 hours about how he plans to do that. Apparently...
Foul ball.
Apparently, some Democrats are worried about his age. Yeah. Bernie Sanders is like, I agree, he's too young. He's too young, these whippersnappers with wearing sneakers and... I saw that due to a worldwide shortage of helium, this is true. Helium, the National Weather Service hasn't been able to launch all their weather balloons. It's tough, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what the meetings inside the National Weather Service are like right now.
Dale, why don't we have any weather balloons in the sky?
Well, Doug, we don't have enough helium. And without it, it's hard to get up real high.
I guess this is what happens when there's inflation.
It's a real kick in the weather balloons.
Time to cut back on helium.
What a sad day. I know, bud. Also, today's my birthday. Oh, sorry. I almost forgot. Happy birthday. Thanks. Stop, wait!
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
That happened? And
Yeah,
they
that's
both
what-
have blonde hair.
yeah, that's what I
both
imagined
have-
happening at the
How do you
natural.
imagine? And helium became a flammable substance. That's great. That's beautiful.
Bill Nye over there.
And that guy had a really deep voice naturally.
Yeah, they both did. Some business news, everybody. Coca-Cola, I'm kind of excited about this. Coca-Cola is teaming up with Jack Daniels to release a Jack and Coke cocktail in a can.
Ooh.
Here it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Finally, we no longer have to go through that exhausting task of mixing Jack with Coke. Yeah, right now, there are 4 cases of this stuff holding up a rusted truck in Kid Rock's front yard. Hey, get this. Yesterday, 15 McDonald's restaurants in Russia reopened with new branding, along with a new name called Vkusno I Tushka, which translates to tasty and that's it. Tasty and that's it.
Come on.
Yep, they're really trying to distance themselves from the existing McDonald's brand. Check out this ad, this latest ad I saw.
If you're a fan of McDonald's, then you'll love or at least tolerate Vkusno and Tochka. We offer all of menu favorite, including fraction of kilogram burger with dairy square, room temperature potato shavings, deep fried poultry blocks, the crispy traitor, we mean chicken sandwich, and the milk sludge. And if you see missing clown Donald McRonald, please report to authorities. Vkusno and Tochka, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you will loving it.
You will loving it. This is insane. Did you guys hear about this? Marvel has announced that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to return to theaters with new and extended scenes. Do people really care about that? It's like, yeah. I thought it was like, see it again, but now with the scenes that weren't good enough for the real movie. Speaking of Spider-Man, over at Disneyland, they have a Spider-Man show, right? And there's a dummy that's supposed to do flips in the air and land on top of a building, like it's Spider-Man, but something went wrong. Someone got video of it. Watch this.
Here goes something.
There he goes. Good man, Spidey. Good luck, Spidey. Good luck. Ooh! Looks like Spider-Man after a 6-pack of Jack and Coke, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, bye.
that's actually in the extended scene from the new Spider-Man movie in theaters. And IMAX. And IMAX, of course. Guys, some entertainment news. A lot of fans are theorizing that Beyonce has a new album coming soon because of mysterious clues that she dropped online this weekend.
Yeah, but how do you know for sure? Isn't that just a rumor?
I mean, the clues are everywhere, Tariq.
Like what?
Okay, so on Friday, Beyonce deleted her profile pictures for all her social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. And she still hasn't uploaded new ones over 72 hours later.
Go on.
Beyonce's most recent studio album was Lemonade, which was surprise released over 6 years ago in 2016. But you know what else happened in 2016? Her second Super Bowl performance, the one with Coldplay. And we all know what happened the day before that performance. She surprise released the song for the video Formation. Then immediately after the Super Bowl, the next day, she announced the Formation World Tour, all before anyone even knew that she was going to surprise release Lemonade that April.
Well, that was 2016, though.
Right. But both Lemonade and her self-titled surprise album, Beyonce, had sneaky clues before the release, too. Like Beyonce posting pictures of herself with lemons. And on Saturday, fans realized that if you search Saturday's date, June 11th, on Beyonce's website, placeholder art for a mysterious Beyonce album is just called B7 came up. B7, Beyonce's 7th album. Get it?
But she didn't release an album this weekend.
Are you even listening? Because then Tidal, the streaming service that Jay-Z is on the board of, tweeted, what is a B7? Then just B8. Jay-Z's Beyonce's husband. So if and when Beyonce puts out a new album, it could be B7 and B8. That's a double album. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, it's crazy, all right. Crazy in love.
Guys, moving on. I heard that some companies are allowing workers to wear shorts in an effort to get them back in the office this summer. Yeah. You know a CEO is desperate when they're like, fine, you don't have to wear pants. It's gonna be weird after meetings to hear 20 pairs of sweaty thighs peel off the seats. Like, Also, you guys hear about apparently a pest control company is offering $2,000 to families who are willing to let them release 100 cockroaches into their homes. Yep, $2,000 for 100 cockroaches. Right now, the owner of the Red Lobster in Times Square is like, I'm gonna be a billionaire! Finally, if you ever see a photo in the news and think that headline should be different, well, we're going to take care of that right now. It's time for News and Improved. Here we go. For example, check out this first photo. The original headline was, Dr. Fauci says U.S. is out of pandemic phase. Yep, the headline can definitely be improved because if you only looked at the photo, the headline could have been, Dad does mic drop after destroying eulogy. It's like... Up next, this headline says, Queen Elizabeth beams at Royal Windsor Horse Show. The headline could have been, wedding guest gets really into a little bit softer now portion of shouts. This next headline was, Biden's job approval numbers continue to slide. Headline could have been, father of the bride clearly taking a leak in the shrubs. Next headline was, BTS holds White House press briefing. Headline could have been, new FDA commissioners announced plans to make butter 35% smoother by 2024. The next headline was, Harris announces plan to cancel federal student loans. Headline could have been, mom accidentally walks in on son's personal computer time. Mom! It's my personal computer time. Yeah. Next headline was, Prime Minister Trudeau attends ceremony. Headline could have been, Dad gets just a little high for PTA meeting. And finally, this headline was, Pope Francis opens doors for women. A headline could have been, drunk friend gives final reassuring look before eating it on water skis. Let's get to some news, guys. President Biden's approval rating continues to slide. Yeah, and a new poll found that since taking office, the biggest drop in support has been among young voters. Yeah. Though to Biden, I'm pretty sure a young voter is just a voter. Then Biden said, so this means I'm doing okay with older voters? And his staff was like, oh, goodness, no. Speaking of Biden, I read as fuel prices continue to surge, the White House is considering a temporary suspension of the federal gas tax. Yeah, they're considering it, so... Take your time, gang. You can tell the president is on the older side when he's like, what if we give everyone a quarter? Yep, the economy has really been struggling lately. I saw that the stock market is now in its biggest free fall since the start of the pandemic. Right now, the ticker on CNBC is just showing the lyrics to Everybody Hurts. Meanwhile, since stocks are all down, I saw that CNN suggested investing in baseball cards. Did you hear this? Yeah, I guess their chief financial strategist is a 10-year-old from 1986. Then to battle rising food prices, they recommend eating the gum inside the pack of baseball cards. Hey, get this, a new study found that staring at yourself during Zoom calls can put you in a bad mood. You know what else about Zoom calls put you in a bad mood? Being on Zoom calls. Yeah, it's better to stare at your coworker who thinks a Zoom call is the ideal time to eat Greek yogurt. You think the visual's bad, the audio is, just mute yourself, friend. Hey, I want to say congrats to Post Malone, who just welcomed a new baby girl. Post, congrats. Yeah. We've actually got a picture of her right here.
Stop! Don't do it, Jimmy. Don't bring yourself disgrace. Don't show a baby with tattoos photoshopped on its face.
But I wanna.
Don't do this, Jimmy. Have you no self-esteem? That joke's too easy. Open your mind and dream.
but we already made the graphic.
Oh, simple Jimmy, heed my words, hear my cry. You're better than this joke. Now spread your wings and fly.
Are you done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, anyway, here's Post Malone's Baby.
All right.
Not very good.
That's cool.
That's not bad. Tariq Trotter, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That's not bad. I don't know if you guys saw this, but earlier this morning, one of our local NBC anchors, Michael Gargiulo, had a little trouble getting through the traffic report, and we thought we would be nice if we aired it again on our show. So check it out.
Good morning, live here at the George Washington Bridge. As you can see, some delays getting across the span right now. Coming up on 9:59, on this Tuesday, June 14th. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
You never know when puberty's gonna strike. You know, that's what I said. When they returned from the break, he showed everyone the fur ball he coughed up. Yeah. Hey, I heard about two chefs who just had a pretty impressive world record. Watch this.
A pair of chefs just made the world's largest chicken nugget. They used 40 pounds of ground chicken, 20 slices of white bread, 40 eggs to bind it all together.
At that point, they're really taking liberty with the word nugget. Yeah, that story again. They made a chicken cake. I was talking about this today. I don't know if you saw. It was all over the place. Warner Brothers released the first picture of Ryan Gosling as Ken in the upcoming Barbie movie. This is real. Here's the picture. This is real. Here he is. Wow. That's also what comes up when you Google sexy Guy Fieri Halloween costume. Just saying. Can we see it again? No. Looks like Draco Malfoy if he went to Barry's boot camp. Yeah, that's right. He's the total package. Well, minus the package. It's Ken. It's Ken. There's a Ken joke. Let's get to some news here, everyone. I read that Dr. Fauci has tested positive for COVID, but luckily he's only experiencing mild symptoms. Yeah. Yeah. COVID must feel like it just reached the final boss in a video game. It's like, yeah, we did it. We did it. We beat Fauci. Yeah. That's right, Dr. Fauci has COVID. Right now, even he's reading the CDC guidelines like, damn, these are confusing. Isolate for 5 days, then quarantine? What do I do? You guys hear about this? Amid a salmonella outbreak, the CDC has instructed people not to kiss or snuggle their chickens. Although if you're kissing and snuggling chickens, I'm not sure salmonella is your biggest issue. I think... Yeah. And this is not, when the news broke, Dr. Fauci was like, well, my day just keeps getting worse and worse. Well, get this. I heard that since taking office, President Biden has seen his approval rating drop the most among young voters. Yeah, well, I think he's trying to win young voters back. Check out this new ad the White House just released.
What's up, fam? You know who's not chuggy? The only president who's straight up bussin', Joe Biden. President B is clapping back on the haters with
sensible bipartisan policy.
We ain't trying to simp, we're just spilling the tea, because he's got BPE.
Big president energy.
So support Joe Biden today, because our White House daddy is about to go goblin mode on inflation.
This ad was paid for by a group of 50-year-old men who just found out about Urban Dictionary.
There you go. It's very interesting. Goblin mode. Yeah. Hey, guys, listen to this. I don't know if you heard this. Molson Coors is pulling Coors Light and Keystone Light from stores after a viral video showed cans filled with a thick liquid. Yeah, some stores return them while others just relabel them Guinness. I don't know about you, but I like a beer that you can eat with a honey dripper. Today, after 27 years, Microsoft officially shut down Internet Explorer. Yeah, you could tell it was getting old because there were errors like this coming up. First, error 404, can't find my glasses. Oh, wait, here, they're on my head. Look at this error. Error, Internet Explorer stopped working. Now it collects Civil War medallions.
Wow.
You can tell it's getting old. Look at this. Finally, this error says, error, Internet Explorer is busy buying a reverse mortgage from Tom Selleck. Maybe it's good that they shut it down. Well, guys, I just saw a new design for airplane seats, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Take a look at this.
It's called double-decker seating. This is the design. It fits 2 levels of seats inside a normal airplane. So your legs go straight out in front of you with someone basically sitting above them.
COVID or not, if you're on the bottom, you're going to want to wear a mask. You know, I just think
Odor.
it's going to be fun when the flight attendant's like, oh, tonight's in-flight snack is whatever the guy above you is eating. Cheez-Its, Cheez-Its. Here's some much-needed good news. Beyonce just announced that next month she's releasing a new album called Renaissance. Then everyone else releasing an album was like, okay, August it is. This will be Beyonce's first album since 2016. Come on, that's too long. That's too long. And at the same time, Taylor Swift released 42 albums. I mean, come on. Of course, fans are pumped for the album. Seriously, the only thing going more platinum is Ryan Gosling as Ken. You know? And... That's right, this is big news for the music business and even bigger news for the wind machine industry. Guys, get this. Today, for the first time, Elon Musk met virtually with Twitter employees at a company-wide meeting. Ooh. Employees called it good practice for that awkward phone call with Dad on Father's Day. Yeah, picture the awkwardness of a Zoom happy hour times 44 billion. You know what I'm saying? Some more business news. I heard that Facebook is planning a major redesign on its main feed to help it compete with TikTok. When people accused them of copying TikTok, Facebook said, we're not copying TikTok, we're duetting with TikTok. Hey, did you guys see this? British Airways flight got a little hectic when water started flooding from the ceiling while the plane was in air. Oh. Look at this. This is scary. Yeah. At that point, the pilot was like, tonight's in-flight entertainment is anyone who wants to reenact that scene from The Notebook. You can just go for it. But everyone just made the best of it. They just turned the inflatable chute into a slip and slide. It was fun. It was fun. I love that. I did a stand-up. I was doing a stand-up slip and slide.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like more like a slipping, like surfing slide.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what you do. There's advanced level, because obviously you do the belly flop and go slide right down. But then you get all muddy and all that stuff, and then by the end of the afternoon you get bored and you go, let me try this.
So you do it up. You do it standing up. Yeah. That was a wipeout, bro.
Yeah, of course. Hey, guys, I saw that Disney is offering a new high-end travel package called Disney Parks Around the World, where you travel on a private jet to all of their parks for $110,000. But they're not the only theme park offering a deluxe package, though. No, watch this.
Can't afford Disney's Around the World tickets? Then book your spot on the Busch Gardens VIP tour. For just $65.99, you'll get to climb aboard this magical chariot while enjoying the finest of beverages and sampling the freshest foods as you're chauffeured between the London and Paris of America, Virginia and Tampa. When you see what looks like an abandoned, haunted amusement park, you've arrived. The Busch Garden VIP tour. Make sure you got your tetanus shot.
Guys, listen to this. Researchers say that an anti-hunger pill is on the horizon that could replace the need for exercise. When they heard Peloton was like, okay, things can get worse. All right. Hey, I read about a bus driver who was found passed out on the side of the highway, and he said that he didn't know that the gummies he was eating had THC in them. Even more upsetting, he's the most sober driver in the fleet. It seems like there's so much going on right now. Father's Day is this Sunday. Congress just held another hearing about January 6th. The first photo of Ryan Gosling as Ken in the Barbie movie is out. And I just heard Jack Daniels is teaming up with Coca-Cola to sell a canned Jack and Coke. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump in and cover it all at once. It's time for a news smash. Here we go. First up, this Sunday is Father's Day. It is the time to thank your dad for everything he's done for you. It's a fun day to celebrate, but you know what's not so fun? The congressional hearings. They're investigating January 6th. That's when a mob went after Mike Pence, who, by the way, has as much going on below the belt as a Ken doll. But what can you do? You know, he's a Ken doll. I mean, and Ken and Barbie, they're a great couple. I mean, they go together like Jack and Coke. Now you can get it as a pre-mixed cocktail, which is good news if you still need a gift for Father's Day. Your dad deserves something special, because it's not easy raising kids. I mean, before he had you, your dad probably looked like Ryan Gosling. I mean, just look at him. I mean, if that Ken walked into a bachelorette party, there'd be a full-on riot. People stormed the Capitol and took selfies while they did it. You know, they must have pre-gamed with a few canned cocktails. You drink one, you drink six. I mean, they go down real smooth. Speaking of down and smooth, poor Ken. He'll never be able to be a dad. So, in conclusion, nice abs, taste bad, make it stop. Love you, Pop. This has been a News Smash. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, this Sunday is Father's Day. Four people, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's the day we thank Dad for all the times we went to him with a problem and he said, ask your mother. On Father's Day, you don't even have to make breakfast in bed because there's always a half a bologna sandwich on his nightstand. Let's be honest, no one cares about Father's Day. Even the Hallmark Channel does nothing for Father's Day. Seriously, they'll air an Arbor Day marathon before a Father's Day movie. Yep, Father's Day is a lot different than Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, every card looks like a novel. On Father's Day, you basically get the Cliff Notes. Meanwhile, leading up to Father's Day, Kingsford released a new ad for their charcoal. And it might just be me, but it seems a little strange. Watch this.
This Father's Day, gather round the grill with Kingsford, because a Kingsford flame is the perfect thing to stare at to avoid eye contact with your dad. Squirt the lighter fluid, listen to him say, that's plenty, and realize it's as close to I love you as he's ever gonna get. Stand there as he retells the story of how you dropped a pop fly in Little League 37 years ago. Finally work up the courage to ask if he's ever felt how much you need him. Then listen to him reply, Billy, I need you to get me another beer. Kingsford, you won't talk again until the 4th of July.
Beautiful. Well, this is fun. The Westminster Dog Show kicks off tomorrow right here in New York. Yep. Breeds are categorized into groups, including working, sporting, and non-sporting. It's the same way dads classify their sons. I got one working, one non-sporting, one not working. Get this, I read that President Biden will soon release his plan for the next pandemic. America was like, awesome. Wait, what next pandemic? It's not much. All they're planning to do is mail everyone a sourdough starter kit. No, I'm kidding. It's a highly detailed plan called Tiger King Season 3. Well, guys, gas prices are still soaring, and experts say that there's no relief in sight. With that in mind, we went to our sound engineer, Steve Mandel, who's going to tell us what he thinks about gas prices in a new segment called Steve Mandel's Rant Zone.
This is Steve Mandel's Rant Zone, the only place where you're going to get 100% unfiltered Steve Mandel. If you can't handle the heat, stay away from the flames, because Steve Mandel pulls no punches and takes no prisoners. And now it's time to find out what goes on in the mind of this man. Steve, what do you think about gas prices?
I think gas prices are too high.
This has been Steve Mandel's Ransom! Consider yourself granted!
Don't forget to smash that like button.
Some entertainment news. I heard that a new Marvel series called Wonder Man is in the works at Disney+. Finally, a superhero for boys to relate to. Yet Wonder Man has a superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and the ability to fight copyright infringement lawsuits from Superman. Actually, Wonder Man's superpower is hearing what Wonder Woman said in a meeting and then repeating it louder. Hey guys, I saw that Lego is spending more than $1 billion to build its first factory in the U.S. Yep, it'll probably take a while to build because halfway through they'll realize one brick's missing and have to start over. Well, you guys, summer is officially here, and I read that today is National Flip-Flop Day. It's pretty fun.
No, wait.
I love flip-flops.
Like, okay, you love flip-flops. What else?
I mean, I like flip-flops. I like tank tops.
That's cool. What else?
I like pawn shops and bus stops. I like listening to hip-hop, K-pop, and doo-wop nonstop at a coffee shop on my laptop. I like eating lamb chops with Carrot Top and Fetty Wap, drinking peach schnapps, watching RoboCop at a rooftop of a co-op. I like rocksteady, not bebop, brooms, not mops, sucking gumdrops and lollipops with bellhops, jamming a ZZ Top and the sounds of Alka-Seltzer going plop, plop.
Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
Is it nice to be naughty? Is it naughty to be nice? Okay, naughty to be, okay. Hey, guys, listen to this. A motorcyclist in Minnesota was arrested for going 144 miles per hour. And he said that he was going that fast to cool off from the heat. It actually worked because he got to ride in an air-conditioned police car.